Your time, your energy, your reputation, your silence. You give and give. And they take. Effortlessly. Endlessly. And just when you notice something's off, just when your gut whispers something's not right, they twist the story. They turn your instincts against you. They flip your reality. Suddenly you're overthinking, overreacting, too sensitive, ungrateful. That's how they trap you. Not with power, but with confusion. They build a world where you question you, and they never answer for what they've done. That's emotional manipulation. It's not loud. It's not violent. It's quiet. It's clean. And it's everywhere. The rich do it. The poor do it. The charming, the broken, the religious, the political, the influencer, the friend, the lover, the leader. Anyone who needs control but doesn't want to be seen taking it. And behind it all, you'll often find narcissism. Not the flashy kind. The deep kind. The cold kind. The one that feeds on admiration, on fear, on obedience. These people don't want love. They want control. They want power over your thoughts, your choices, your freedom, without ever getting their hands dirty. So they smile, they cry, they play the victim, they play the hero, they make you doubt the pain they caused, and they make you apologize for it. This is how they win, until you see it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You realize the patterns. You hear the manipulation. You watch them lose power. The moment you stop playing your role, you weren't crazy, you weren't broken, you weren't dramatic, you weren't too emotional, you weren't overthinking, you weren't weak, and you definitely weren't the problem. You were targeted, intentionally, calculatedly, silently. You were chosen, not because something was wrong with you, but because something was right with you, because you cared, because your heart was open, because you listened when others talked, because you offered compassion, even when you were the one hurting, because you believed in people, because you gave chances, because you saw potential in places others ignored. You were targeted, because you had light, and they wanted to dim it. You had warmth, and they wanted to drain it. You had loyalty, and they wanted to own it. You had hope, and they wanted to twist it into something that served them. They didn't come for your weakness. They came for your strength. They knew you wouldn't walk away easily. They knew you'd stay, try, fix, understand. They knew you'd hurt yourself just to keep the peace. They knew you'd shrink before you ever made them uncomfortable. They knew, and they used it all. But now you know too, and that changes everything. Now you stop explaining yourself. To people who refuse to hear you, you stop begging for honesty, from mouths built to lie. You stop handing out grace. To those who treat it like currency, you stop folding your worth, just to fit into rooms that were never built for you. You stop shrinking, to make others feel tall. You stop editing your truth, to protect someone else's comfort. You stop apologizing for noticing what your soul has always known. You stop dancing for people who only clap when you're bleeding. You stop playing the game because now you see it. The patterns, the manipulation, the emotional sleight of hand. You see the confusion wasn't accidental. The silence wasn't forgetfulness. The inconsistency wasn't human error. It was all deliberate. And now, you're done. You don't need closure. You don't need revenge. You don't need them to understand. You just need yourself. The real you. The one you buried. To keep their love. The one you softened. To make them feel strong. The one you quieted. So their chaos could be loud. You get her back. You get him back. You get you back. Piece by piece. Day by day. Truth by truth. You reclaim your mind. No more letting them live rent-free in your thoughts. No more wondering what they think, what they feel, what they meant. Now you ask, what do I feel? What do I want? What do I need? You reclaim your time. No more wasted years, spiraling in cycles you didn't create. No more investing in people who see you as a mirror, not a soul. You reclaim your voice. No more silence when you're hurting. No more pretending it didn't matter. No more swallowing truth to keep fragile egos intact. You reclaim your worth, not because someone finally gave it to you, but because it was always yours. You've been used for your love, used for your patience, used for your ability to see the good in broken people who had no intention of changing, used for your stability, used for your forgiveness, used for your silence. But now, you see it, and that one shift, that one sharp soul-splitting realization, that's enough to burn the whole illusion to ash. That's enough to free you. Because when you see it, really see it, you can't unsee it. You stop reaching. You stop explaining. You stop hoping they'll come back better. You stop waiting for the apology. That will never come. You just walk, not because you're bitter, but because you're done. You don't go back. You don't look back. You're not who you were when they met you. You're not as easy to fool. You're not as easy to break. You're not as easy to own. You are new. You are clear. You are powerful in ways they never imagined you'd become. Letting go of the past and choosing to move forward with a clear, open heart. It is a powerful form of self-care and inner strength, helping us cultivate a sense of calm, peace, and emotional balance, regardless of external circumstances. Perspective is another powerful tool in dealing with disrespect. The Taoist worldview teaches us that everything in life is in constant motion, and nothing is permanent. Disrespect, like any negative event, is a temporary ripple in the vast ocean of life. By taking a step back and viewing the situation from a larger perspective, we realize that most instances of disrespect are fleeting, insignificant in the grand scheme of our lives. It helps to remind ourselves that the opinions and actions of others do not define us, and that the value of our life is not determined by how others treat us, but by how we choose to respond to them. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wisely said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." When we shift our perspective, we see that disrespect is not a reflection of our worth, but of the other person's inner state. This understanding helps us to not take things personally and to respond with composure, knowing that we can choose how we want to engage with the world. In life, just as in the movement of water, we must remain fluid and adaptable, able to flow around obstacles and keep moving forward, no matter what. The discipline and wisdom of Taoism and Stoicism teach us that we have the power to shape our own responses to life's challenges. We are like water, strong yet flexible, able to carve our own path while remaining grounded in our values. By practicing discipline, empathy, forgiveness, and perspective, we become more than just survivors of disrespect. We become masters of our own emotional landscape, choosing to live with inner peace, wisdom, and grace. We let go of the need for approval or validation from others, and instead focus on our own journey, knowing that true peace comes from within. Like the unstoppable force of water that adapts to its surroundings while remaining powerful and persistent, we can flow through the challenges of life with unwavering strength, knowing that we control our inner state, no matter what comes our way. Through this, we find a deeper connection to our own essence,